What's up, everyone? It's your man LD Larry Dawson, and I'm here to tell you about my new series, My Legacy. It is a 10-part series. Each episode will be focusing on one particular topic. These topics are life-changing topics. You are not going to want to miss these discussions. Tune in each week for a new episode. Don't miss it. My Legacy. What's up, everyone? It's your man LD Larry Dawson, and we're back for the next episode of My Legacy. Today's episode is on communication. Ooh, that's a crucial thing in so many different aspects of life. It's crucial with your partner, with your parents, with your kids, with your co-workers, with your subordinates, just in everyday life, man, to be able to open up and communicate properly. So I'm going to run a couple things past you to break down the keys to communication. And so let me give you this scenario. You have this guy and this girl, they meet and they fall in love, but once all the shiny glimmer of the new love starts to wear off, a real problem starts to set in. And this real problem is that the girl is willing to talk and open up and be honest. Say things that bother her, say things that she likes, talk about things. But the guy, he doesn't like to do any of that. He doesn't mention things when they bother him. Instead, he lets them build up, and he gets to the point where he blows up. Or if something he really likes, he doesn't mention it either. So because this guy will not mention things that he likes or he doesn't like, this woman can never really get a feel, so it keeps her off balance. They never really get to solve problems or issues because they never really communicate on the level that you should, because he won't open up. He stays closed down and shut off. See, when you have this shut down relationship where one person is willing to communicate and the other isn't, it's only a matter of time before that ends in disaster. Because communication is the key to so many aspects in life. In a relationship, it is the ultimate key. If you are not willing to open up and communicate and talk to your partner, express the things you do like, that you don't like, your expectations, come up with game plans together, figure things out together, be a real team, then you are doomed to fail. Communication is the ultimate key. So you have this woman that's in this relationship with this guy and she just cannot get this man to communicate properly. And because of his shut down personality and nature and unwillingness to communicate, it ends up causing a fracture and a split that tears them apart. And then now this man finds himself without that woman. And she moves on to find her someone else that she can be with and communicate with and have a successful relationship. So I'm going to give you a scenario with two different bosses. So you have a building, we have two teams. You have a sales team and you have a retention team. You have a boss that's over these 200 people and you have a boss that's over these 200 people. So you have these two different bosses. One of them, his team is great. People are on the same page. They have awesome numbers. They meet all their quotas. Things are really on point. Then you have this other boss where it seems like there's always some drama. Things are always a little bit off. They're never quite on their numbers. Things seem a little amiss. Guess what the problem is? Communication. One of these bosses comes into work and they get to know their employees. Which ones have kids? Which ones work better under pressure? Which ones are lazy? Which ones need a pep talk here and there? Which ones need tough love? Which ones just need to be left alone to do their job? They have a total understanding of their employees and the people that are underneath them, so they are able to properly manage them by communicating with them and getting to know who they are and what situations they would thrive best under. And then you have another boss that just comes in and barks orders, treats everybody the same, and it's just a lot of chaos. And you would say to yourself, well, that's how it should be. You should just make sure you treat everybody the same. That's not the real world, and that's not reality, and that's not how you are successful. And that's not what real successful leaders do. You will hear story after story after story from some of the top executives and billionaires and hedge fund founders in the world, and you will see that they take a personal account of who works for them, who they are, what makes them thrive, what their family situation is like. Because when you can effectively communicate with someone and you know what drives that person, what pushes that person, what situations that they're going to perform best under, it's going to help you ultimately as the leader, because you want everyone to be doing their best. And if you have someone that they need more of the pat on the back than the tough love, if you come in and you bark at everybody and treat everybody the same, those people are not going to perform as well. But you didn't take the time to communicate and get to know them and understand that. So that's the difference between a successful leader and a leader that is not so much. So I'm going to break down another part of communication that is very critical that people don't really understand. Probably the most underestimated part of communication, and that is listening. See, we can all talk, but how many people actually listen? Because to effectively communicate and thrive at the highest level, you have to be able to listen. Not just listening, waiting for your turn to respond, but listening and absorbing what is being said to you. So that way if your partner is talking to you, you're not just waiting for your rebuttal, but you're soaking in what they're saying so you can make the adjustments so you can have a successful relationship. That way, the same thing your partner's saying that you need to change or work on, you're not having the same conversation again next month. Because you didn't take the time to listen, you was just waiting to hit them with your rebuttal. But if you had taken the time to listen, absorb, and maybe make some modifications and changes, even just meet them halfway, next month you wouldn't have to go through the same thing again. So many times in this world, whether it's in a business world, dealing with your parents, with your partner, a friend, we don't listen to what the other person is saying. And to truly thrive and have success in the communication world, you have to listen. What is the person saying? What are they asking me to do? What do they want from me? What is best for them? Let me listen to my partner. Let me listen to my parents. Let me listen to my friend. Let me listen to my coworker, my boss, my employee, and understand what they're saying. That way, I know going forward the best way to handle this situation. You can't always be a bull in a china shop. Sometimes you have to have finesse. And just bulldozing your way through everything is not the way to go. If you want someone to listen to you and your wants and needs and things that would make you thrive and be better, then you have to be willing to do the same thing. So think about that on your communication journey of not only being a better communicator and opening up and speaking your mind and telling the truth and communicating with people, but also taking the time to listen and to hear what another person's saying. The things that they like, don't like, bothers them, doesn't bother them, that they want, that they don't want. That way, going forward, you can have the utmost success in any of these ventures or avenues in life. This was a quick breakdown on communication, listening, and thriving in that particular field. I hope you guys enjoyed this next episode of My Legacy. I look forward to seeing you guys back for the next one. Until then, I'm out.